Hey, what's up? It's Andy from We Came as Romans, and you're watching RichardThinks.org.
Hey everybody, this is RichardThinks.org. Today we are at Vans Warped Tour, Columbia, Maryland. I have with me Andy of We Came as Romans. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing great.
How's the tour been like for you? Second year? Is this second year you guys main stage?
Yeah, this is second. Oh, we did what is now the Monster Energy stage 2 years ago, but we are now on the Key of Soul main stage this year, and it's awesome.
Very cool. Now, how's this time being on main stage this time around for you guys?
We love it. We feel honored and blessed to be on it, and I feel like since it's our second time, we kind of get how things work and how things go a lot better. So, as far as being prepped for Warped, I feel like we're very prepped and like really ready to go, and it's just been an awesome experience, and we're loving every second of it. So
now everybody has that one band on the tour that they either discovered or they were been dying to see for the longest time. What band would you say that's been for you?
Well, Let Live and Architects are the two bands that I watch like all the time. They're just Architects is a great live band, and I'm a big fan of their music, and Let Live just puts on a killer show, and they're two bands that I listen to all the time, and I'm so stoked they're on Warped Tour. When I heard about it, I was like, yes, this is awesome. So
best summer ever.
Yeah, exactly. So it's awesome.
Now, new album, Tracing Back Roots, you got July 23rd, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, how is this writing this album compared to your previous few releases?
Well, we did our previous records before with Joey Sturgis, and we did this new one, our third record, with John Feldmann, and the writing process and environment was way different. Josh, Kyle, and Dave all like flew in for like a quick week just to sit down with John and talk about like ideas and do some like figure out what kind of vocal stuff they wanted to do and what kind of style we wanted to shoot for. And we had already written a bunch of songs back at home. Like Josh had already written a bunch of songs, and then Lou and I had worked on songs, and then Eric was writing a lot of the drums. And then when we got in there, it was just crazy. The way John works is his thought process just moving a million miles an hour. So sometimes it was hard to keep up, but he was always just like, just trust and believe that there is order and there is like steps in all of this chaos. And we love the way it turned out. It was great, and I feel like a lot of the band as a whole was way more involved and way more hands-on with it. And especially the environment we were in. We recorded our last records in Connorsville, Indiana, and then when we recorded with John, we recorded in California. So it was just like scenery was just gorgeous, and we weren't used to like having such nice weather. And John's place is like he's got a pool and everything.
Yeah,
so
he's got a big mansion, or not a mansion, but like pretty big place.
His house is awesome, and he's got dogs running around and stuff like that, and like just the work environment felt so much more like I don't feel like I'm getting cabin fever. I feel like I'm like just relaxed, and we'd go and see the ocean, and like just kind of like everything would just kind of be calm. And so I feel like mentally like we were all a little bit more set there, and it was easier to breathe. But working with John was really awesome. I'm really glad we took that step.
Now, how did you guys go in picking John out of like all the producers that you guys probably had in mind?
We kind of ran with a couple different producers just to kind of, we did like some conference calls and stuff like that, and just kind of jog people's mind of what they, other producers like, what would you think if we did this? And then we tried out some people, and John just seemed like the perfect fit, and we were just felt really like, working with this guy I think is the right step for the band, and so we just took it and ran with it.
Now, Tracing Back Roots, how did you guys come up with that album title for this album?
Well, we had talked a lot about it as a band, and I think a lot of us have done a lot of growing up individually in the band, and it's kind of almost pushed our band to this new chapter of kind of almost Tracing Back Roots is basically moving forward but remembering who you are. And for the longest time, like when we came out to Planet Seed, we were super young, and we were so eager to tour, and then we toured on that album for just years, and we just kept touring and touring and touring, and then we found out that, you know, touring and doing those things and like going through life is a lot harder than what we had like kind of planned, and that's what understanding comes from. We kind of had to understand that like sometimes life gets hard and takes you down, but you also have to see the good in it, and there's a duality, there's the good and there's the evil there. And tracing back roots is almost kind of like going back to our childhood when we were like, there was like this like fire in us, you know, and igniting. But we basically, that flame is kind of relit, and we're taking everything that we've grown to be, and like kind of move forward with it. So it's a really cool and exciting chapter, and yeah, that's basically what Tracing Back Roots is.
So essentially, what song would you feel like you were most proud of it on that album that you guys wrote?
There's a song called I Survive, and it's with Aaron Gillespie is doing guest vocals, and he was the former drummer and singer of Under Oath, and he's now currently in the Almost. And we grew up listening to Under Oath and the Almost, and we were just huge fans. Like we played, you know, both bands' albums back and forth all day on like long drives, and we all grew up listening to them. And that song is a really different song. It's got like a way different feel than the rest of the songs in the album, and doing it with Aaron was just such like an honor, and it was like such a thing that we were like, oh my god, I hope this works out. And he was like, yeah, I totally want to do it, and we were like, yes. So the final product, when it came out, we were all just like, wow, this is like a dream come true. So that is personally my favorite track, and it definitely sticks out than all the rest. But you know, I kind of like all the songs. I'm really actually stoked and proud of this CD. I think it's the best work we've ever done. So
now, is there any particular song in there that you guys were wanting to add to the set list when obviously the CD comes out and you guys are doing your own tour?
Add songs from the new album on the set list? Yeah. We're playing Tracing Back Roots, and we're playing Fade Away, which we just released a while ago, and both have gotten great crowd reactions. Fade Away is a little bit more rocky, and like, you know, kids will jump to it and stuff like that, and it's really new. I think it's only been out for like 4 days now, and we just released it on iTunes. Tracing Back Roots we released coming like right up to Warped Tour in the beginning, and that song is just so heavy and just so like, you know, in your face, and kids just open it up. So it's cool. I see different reactions from both songs, and playing them live has just been awesome. So it's cool. We're kind of leaving kids on like a little bit of a cliffhanger, because we have a super heavy song that we released, a super light song, but there's so much more in this album that I think kids are really going to enjoy. So
any other ones that you're going to add later to the set list that you'd like to probably play live?
Probably not on this tour, but maybe once the album releases, I think we'll be doing a lot more. So
now, post Warped, what you guys got going on?
We're headed over to the UK and doing some Warped dates in the UK, and then also a couple shows with Parkway Drive, us, Memphis Mayfire, and like Moss and Flames. And then we're also doing the Philippines, and then there will be later on down the line we'll do some more touring and stuff, but I can't really like talk about it too much yet. But you know, I don't want to get in trouble. But definitely just keep your eyes peeled and stay posted, and you'll see something, and I think you guys will be stoked on it. So
all right, now let's move on to some fun questions here. Now, if you could see any artist, like this could be any singer of any genre or any band, again any different genre than metal or whatever, and you could see cover a Weekend is Roman song, which song would you like to see covered, and by whom?
A band?
Anybody can cover any of your songs.
It'd either have to be Deftones or In Flames. I feel like I can think of a lot of In Flames songs, because a lot of the stuff is like, some of our stuff is a little more techy, but on the new stuff I could definitely see Chino's voice just soaring through the sky with the song. So it's a toss-up, but I'd probably go with Deftones. So
now, if you could only pick 2 albums to take with you on a road trip, what 2 albums would you pick?
I'd take In Flames, soundtrack to Your Escape, and then I'd pick Deftones' White Pony.
Nice choice. Yeah. That's my favorite Deftones album too. And and last, if you had to be stranded on a desert island, you can only bring 3 items with you. What 3 items would you pick to take with you?
3 what?
3 items to take with you to a desert island.
3 items. I feel like I gotta go into survival mode here.
Solar powered items are allowed.
What?
Solar powered items are allowed. I feel like everybody does that regardless if I allow it or not.
One of the few books I've read. One of them was Hatchet, so I'm gonna have to go with Hatchet, just because I feel like that's a safe bet. There's a lot of stuff you can do with the hatchet. Then I'd probably bring some kind of, I feel like some kind of bowl would be like good to have, you know? And then, cause I feel like I could do stuff with the bowl and the hatchet, you know? I'm trying to like multiply all the stuff I got, cause I can only bring 3 things. I'd probably bring a bottle of booze for a lonely night, you know? It's just like, I don't know. That's, yeah, I'll take the booze. I'll take a bottle of Fireball out there for one of those nights. Just going nuts.
Very cool. Well, thank you guys. Thank you very much again for your time. Andy of We Cameras Romance. Backroots comes out July 23rd. RichardThinks.org, and we will see you later.
Awesome.